Well, tube, she's in. That went in straight to first go there, to be fair. That's where the gearbox is going to be. Permanent. So obviously this is not the correct gear lever. Well, it is the one that came with it, but we'll have a straight up one probably, but yeah. Good. Oh, that really has made me feel better. I'm beginning to think we're not going to get this in there then. So I'm just going to go right down underneath here and see if all the clutch linkage is going to all work. Because, like I said, if the clutch and that don't work properly, it isn't any good, is it? Let's be honest. So I think it looks exactly the same, but we'll have to see. So, bit more progress. Right, tubes, I don't know if you can see that. That is a gearbox is in. Oh god, I've done a job to show you now. That is the shaft where it's going on to, so there, look. So that shiny shaft, I'll show you this. Sorry, it's a bit of a job to hold everything. That's the bit that goes on the gearbox end, like I showed you before, and that piece of pipe there slides over the shiny one there and bolts onto there. So that's what we're going to do now. Sorry, I can't get any better thing than this. I've got the gearbox in, clutch is all working and everything, so that grinding I did was okay. So there's the 5-speed gearbox, that's where she goes up in. If you look on the bottom of the gearbox by there, where is it? There, that's it. Sorry, it's a bit dark here. I've got to make a cross member to come across here to take the weight of the gearbox, because that's a rubber mount there. So that's got to happen. But we're going to put this drive shaft on here now, from there to here, and see how it looks. Okay. Here we are, fellas or girls. That prop shaft has gone in bloody brilliant. Just slid over the other, really tight fit, and we're sorted. So next thing is dealing with that thing, a bit of a cross member to hold the gearbox, and we're done down here nearly. Well, like I said, we've got to drill a few holes in that and weld it up, mate. That is getting there. Looking good, looking good. We're going to raise the gearbox up a couple of inches just to make it a bit more of a straighter drive line, and do that subframe tomorrow, which is on the floor over there, and it'll need a bit of cutting and dealing with. Hello fellas, I hope you can see this. Drive shaft is all done. I bolted it through with 3 bolts over here. It's not welded yet because I want to get it in the building to weld it because it's too wet there. There's another bolt up here going through. Don't suppose you can quite see it here. There is a bolt there with my finger. Subframe has all been done. Look, I got 1 foot pieces of solid 10mm, could be 12mm box section going underneath, that's held on with rubber mounts to the chassis. Then there's a rubber mount in the middle here, and it's the same on the other side. Plenty of room underneath where the sump is, but if that needs altering, we can adjust that again. Clutch all in. Really happy. This is looking well, boys. I'm really chuffed with this now. So what we're going to do next is, most of the work down here is done. We're going to try and deal with this hole here. Right, tubes, I've put this plate in, and I've also put a big piece of 3/4 inch rebar through, slid up into that one subframe bit, and then pushed back in here, and 2 bolts to keep it there. That's held the floor up, which is stronger than the original.
put this piece of aluminium plate, you know, and bolted it through for now. That will be the floor. It'll be strong enough because the actual cutout isn't very big there. I had got the gear lever. This is the bent gear lever, and I straightened it with gas. So that's reverse, that's first, second, third, fourth, fifth. See? We are sorted. This has really worked well. So I just got to get that, what to call the boot on here now. That's just going to be self-tap screws in there, hold that on. So it's looking good. All this is in, gear levers all sorted, look. Don't know, did I show you this one since I straightened the lever with the gas? Still a bit cruddy there, but we'll put something over that. Reverse, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. We are all sorted. I did tell you before, I've gone around the rocker cover tightening them up, and they were very loose, to be fair. I don't know what has happened there, but somebody obviously hasn't tightened them up properly. So the carpets can all go back down now before long when I put this cover back on. I welded up the drive shaft underneath. I'll put this little pod over here now in a minute, and we'll get it down and try it out. So that is it. We'll see if it'll work or not. It's only got two choices, isn't it? There's a lot of work gone into this, so I hope it will anyway. Whew. Well, I hope we've enjoyed this, because I've got to be honest, when I was dealing with that bell housing and the shaft needed grinding back, I was a little bit disheartened then. But as usual with these projects, once you get over the big stumbling block, you seem to motor on then, and it gives you a bit more oomph to get going. So that's the only thing I can say to people who are trying to do this sort of thing. Give it a bit more time than you think. Now, I was counting up how many days it took me to do this, and you will be quite surprised. It's only really been a week. Because I started it ages and ages ago, but I had to wait for that bell housing to come, which took 3 weeks. So it took me a day to get the gearbox out, and to be quite honest, it took a week to do it on my own. So not that bad. So if you like I said, if you decide to do this sort of thing, give yourself plenty of time. And if I was doing it again, I'd put the back wheels on blocks as well, so there's a bit more room underneath. But was it easier not to change the engine? Well, I don't know. You would still have had to done the modification underneath the gearbox. I don't really know. I would have had to fabricate some engine mounts. I don't think it would have took any longer, or it took less, because you'd have had to clean out all the fuel lines and diesel tank and rewire everything. So no, I think it was quicker like this, even with a little stumbling block with that shaft. So would I suggest to anybody else doing it? Yes, I would, but I still got to drive it around, so so I'll get back to you when everything's okay or not. Well boys, this is the conclusion of this. I still haven't cleaned it, it needs a bit of a clean over, but I've just took it for a spin and going like a dream. Really nice to drive because you're not revving the guts out of it, and it's a lot faster as well. So I'm really chuffed with how this has gone. It needs a test now though, so I don't want to jinx it and take it on out too far on the road. I did now for a couple of miles just to test it out though. So I'll just show you what it looks like on the inside, okay? Well, here's how it looks in here now at the moment. Those of you who know what this Bedford CF van looks like. It's a bit of an old one really, but not bad at all. Gear lever is perfectly where you want it, especially for the gears. Reverse is over there. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Really good, and it's just exactly where you want a gear lever to be as well. It's moved over from there where it was over to here, and I've got a straight gear lever on it. I'm really glad I've done it now. I was beginning to wonder if I was going to get it to work, but it works well. So like I said, the only problem is I haven't got a speedometer on it at the moment, so that is a little bit of a fault. But I am sure this thing is going 60, if not 70 mile an hour now, because when I went on the road now, I didn't actually need to get it into fifth until I was hanging on a bit. So I suppose that's one thing to look out for if you do this sort of conversion. I do notice the brakes are a little bit weak for this thing going at that speed, so you have to be a bit careful or give them a bit of an overhaul, you know. So I hope you've enjoyed this conversion. You look in the back, see? That's what she's like. Really tidy in here. Like I said, there's a bit of stuff on the floor from when I've been working on it, but it's a lovely little thing, to be fair. I would suggest anybody who fancies having a camper van, and above here there's a bed up here. It's a bloody lovely thing, and in the back there you've got a toilet on the left hand side, sorry, shower on the left hand side, little cooking space there as well, a fridge on the right, heater here, cupboard, and then you can pull a table down that goes in the middle there. There's my detector there, one of them. So if anybody does a bit of beach metal detecting and things like that, I would suggest you just buy something cheap and cheerful like this, because it's really nice going to the beach and, well, just spending the day there having a cup of tea and relaxing and taking the dogs or whatever. So I hope you've enjoyed this gearbox change, and no doubt you'll be seeing plenty more of it. Long live the Bedford. Ta-da.